This is the occupational kit that I have created. I am focusing on handwriting, using a pencil, using a pen, whiteboard markers. This is a skill that is required for IADLs and just being a part of the community. It can be used for adult populations that are experiencing muscular atrophy, and it can be used for, that's just one of the examples. It can also be used for children in the school systems who are struggling with numerous amount of skills, just making them be able to independently work on their assignments, which is a confidence builder. Being able to be independent with using a writing utensil is important because it is essential to a lot of IADLs and ADLs. A couple of populations specifically that this may benefit would be people who are born with genetic disabilities such as Down syndrome, or nerve or muscular disabilities such as cerebral palsy. And writing requires very many skills such as visual coordination, core strength for your posture, fine motor skills, hand strength, and cognitive functioning, and that's just to name a few, so it's really important. For this kit, I have created a couple boxes. This would be the grade down activity boxes. This is the utensils that we can use, and this is the adaptation box. Along with that, I have a grade down folder, which is just kind of directions for the activities that I have in this box. And then this is kind of like the neutral skill. It has directions, it has the supplies that you'll need, and it just kind of has like very simple control activities that you can use for handwriting. And then this is the grade up folder. It has more imagination based assignments, descriptions. I'm gonna yeah, so I'll just walk you through all of them. So, in this neutral folder, I call it neutral, just because it's easier to think about it that way, I have a list of the items you'll need. So, pencil, dry erase marker, pencil grips, some of the worksheets that I'll show. I put down Wiki Sticks coins, fidget spinners, wind-up toys, and a tennis ball, which is kind of part of the pencil grips I'll show in a little bit. But these are more so activities to start working on that grip strength. And then I have a list for adapt. I really wanted to make a bunch of directions so that if I was able to give someone this kit, they would pretty much be able to follow it without my direction. So adapt, I have the pencil, the grip, and then I have a bigger pencil because that could always help with gripping strength. And then I have a pencil and a tennis ball, which I will show here in a minute. And then I just have like a dry erase board marker, and a way to adapt that is just getting a chunkier one. So what I showed for the adapt paper, the pencil grip, I have a standard pencil grip and a tripod pencil grip. And then for the tennis ball grip, I have created a hole, and that way someone can kind of really grasp it like that instead of having to hold it like this. For this neutral challenge, I focused more on just controlling it. So here's the directions. It has the worksheet that you're going to be working on, and it says can be done with a pencil or a dry erase. In this case, it's laminated, so you'd be using a dry erase. Here is the actual worksheet, so you can get your utensil box out. This is just a standard dry erase. You can trace shapes, If someone is struggling with that, you can either get a grip out of this box, or you can switch to a thicker marker and trace that way. That's one of the activities that I have. Another neutral, but it is a little bit harder than the one that I just showed, is single letter focus. So for example, if you're working with a child, you can pick the first letter of their name and have them trace it. Another way to adapt it would just be getting it bigger, or grading down would just be getting each one bigger, but that's a good way to start focusing, kind of introduction of writing their name. So that is the whole neutral first folder. Go to grade down. So if someone is struggling with that, you're not just going to give up. You're going to start, and you can always manual muscle test, see where the actual problem is lying. But say you already did that and you know, you can, this is the first one, kind of like a tent pattern. You can give them this. They don't necessarily need to match up the colors if that's too much, but they can use these with their grips, pick up the stick, and lay it on flat. Pick up the stick, lay it on flat, and make that shape. A way to grade up, obviously, for cognitive functioning, matching up the colors. So green goes on the green stick, blue, and really try and have them use these two fingers. If they have to bring in other fingers, that's fine, but overall goal is to work on these strength. And I have the directions here. This is for the fine motor, so that would be under this one, or under this one I mean. And then for this one, these are just toys that can be helpful. You can use a fidget spinner. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way. You can use a fidget spinner, place it on the table, using these two fingers, spin it. And try not to move it, because that will be the control. Try not to have it go like that. The other toy here is a wind-up toy, using these two fingers, twist, and that's always fun. These can be skill-based when choosing the activity, or it can just be what the client wants to do, because kids can be stubborn sometimes. The wiki sticks here, same idea. There's little, what are these called? Connect the dots. There's little connected dots on the back using these two fingers. Use these wiki sticks to kind of make the shape. And then the last fine motor activity I have is this campfire one. You can always do your focus letter. So say our focus letter, just because these are at the top, is X. You can have them kind of sitting around and match up the two of these using primarily these two fingers. Grade up is, I have all 26 letters here, uppercase and lowercase. Just add on for that ideal challenge. And then another grade down is kind of the pre-writing activities. So for this first one, I have it from, you get some coins, you lay them out, and using these two fingers, grab it, put it in your palm, and grab another one. And you try and do this until they fall out or they collected all of them. Another one is just simply rotating it with only using these two fingers. If you have to slide at first, that's fine, but hopefully with more practice, they can just do that. And then another way to really strengthen these skills is by taking a writing utensil and moving your hand, manipulating your fingers all the way up and all the way back down. That is another activity that you can work on. That's what I have for grade down. For grading up, I put some more challenging activities that are a little bit similar to the neutral activities, but just a little bit more challenging. You are not a part of this video, sir. For this grade up, you are not a part of this video either, sir. For this grade up, prompt-based free draw. So you can say, I want to see you draw a squiggly line. They draw a squiggly line. If you say, I want to see you draw your focus letter, that way they can start practicing without tracing. Another grade up would be copying. So this way, oh goodness, this way, they see the letters here, and they have to write it here. It's also represented the color so that they can start working on labeling which color is which and all that fun stuff. So again, red, like that. Or again, you can't forget, we can always adopt it with a bigger marker. Or if these were done on paper, I just laminated them so that they would stay nice. But again, we have those grips. So 3 different size grips. This is harder, this is like medium, this is pretty easy. Hold it and write like that. Let's see, is there any other ones? Oh yes. So the last activity that I have in the grade up challenge is personalized names. This would be done on paper instead of laminating so that you can print it in the moment and give it to your specific client. But again, for just keeping these nice for art fair, I laminated them. But it would be practicing their specific name. So instead of a focus letter, you're focusing on how to write their own name, which can help in school systems. Other than that, that's about all I got. Again, populations, I was thinking specifically people with genetic disorders such as Down syndrome, or nerve or muscular disorders such as cerebral palsy. Although both of these disorders they don't necessarily have a cure, they can be helped out with some specific purposeful treatments.